Ghost. Rest in peace to D'Angelo. Sad, guys. Brown sugar, babe. I get high off your love, don't know how to behave. This was my jam back in the day, too. Want some of your brown sugar. Want some of your brown sugar. Some of your brown sugar. I can't hit that note to save my life. I want some of your brown sugar. Salute, Ghost, WTM. Rest in peace, guys. D'Angelo passed away. Salute to Candy. Yeah, it's a crazy year. Crazy year. Good babe, I get high off your love, don't know how to behave. This is my song too, guys. Your brown shit. Everybody smash that like button, guys. 51, that's young. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, when D'Angelo definitely had his time. When D'Angelo was the man, like all the ladies, y'all know damn well. When D'Angelo took his shirt off, Pure Survival, when I was young, it made me never want to take my shirt off again during Survival. Cause the honeys was going crazy. So we definitely got to show love, man, to D'Angelo, which was neo soul, icon, pioneer. You know, he did his thing. You know, and I think that if I'm not mistaken, that he had a baby to Jill Scott. I'm not sure. Can y'all put in the chat if D'Angelo had a baby with Jill Scott? Somebody put that in the chat. Salute to everybody in the building. Please smash that like button. Did D'Angelo have a baby to Jill Scott? I thought that he did. Oh, Angie Stone. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. It was Angie Stone. Did Angie Stone pass away? Like, did Angie Stone pass away? Like, I'm not trying to connect this, but you know, I know that one of them, or Angie Stone passed away. Okay, so because she passed away in the truck that flipped over, right? Like not too long ago, like just last year. So if that's the case, like this is even, I mean, it's sad already, but then this means that their child, which would be a grown adult, lost both parents. But they said D'Angelo was fighting cancer, guys, behind the scenes. Like this is crazy.
Rest in peace to the superstar singer D'Angelo. I saw a post from singer Jill Scott where she was giving thanks to a bunch of R&B singers like D'Angelo. But I didn't think that he would be dead. Now, he died, I guess, from cancer. Allegedly, it was cancer, and he's 51 years old.
And 51, guys, is really, really young. And I was always wondering what happened to D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? But I know D'Angelo was going through a lot of different things, like in the industry. Because D'Angelo was like huge. You know what I'm saying? Like he made it cool for the braids. Motherfuckers wear the braids. And then it was like, what happened to D'Angelo? Like, where did he go? But then I know Angie Stone, she was blown up. You know what I'm saying? But it was like we really didn't know what happened to D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? Because he was big at the time, you know, in his career. But I know he went through a lot of stuff, man. But they saying cancer and 51, that's a very, very young age, guys. 51.
Crazy. Rest in peace to the superstar singer D'Angelo. I saw a post from singer Jill Scott where she was giving thanks to a bunch of R&B singers like D'Angelo. But I didn't think that he would be dead. Now, he died, I guess, from cancer. Allegedly, it was cancer, and he's 51 years old. Rest in peace. If you're a fan or a supporter of his, please like this video, comment, and subscribe.
51.
It's towards the end of the year.
So, 51 years old. He was born February 11th, 1974, which makes him 51. And he just died 1974. Wow.
And I always tell y'all on every video, towards the end of every year, you're going to see friends, family, and celebrities pass away. That's just how it goes. But this is devastating.
Wow. This is crazy, man. D'Angelo just passed away, guys. Smash that like button so this video can get out there, man. And D'Angelo, he grew up like in a church. I think he was raised by his dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for people who don't know D'Angelo's story, here go a piece of it.
Crowned one of the most talented musicians in the late 90s and early 2000s. After snatching up a few Grammy Awards, he disappeared from the limelight, taking his amazing talent with him. So what happened? Here's the truth about D'Angelo's life and why he really faded away. D'Angelo grew up in the Pentecostal church in Richmond, Virginia. His brother Luther came home from school one day and found 3-year-old D'Angelo playing a Prince song on the piano.
So for the people that don't know, he grew up in Richmond, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? He was raised by his father. His father was like in the church and everything like that.
According to a GQ article, D'Angelo was 5 years old when his parents split up, and since his mom was struggling, he and his brothers lived with his father, who was a preacher. When he turned 9, his dad began, quote, battling his own demons. So D'Angelo and his siblings packed up and moved back in with their mom. He played music in his father's church up until he turned 12, and he started playing in his grandfather's church as well. When he became a teenager, he formed different music groups, including Michael Archer and Precise, which had success on the amateur night competition at the Apollo Theater. The 90s signaled the start of the golden era of rap music. D'Angelo became affiliated with a hip-hop group called IDU, and he dropped out of high school to focus on his music career.
And this is his journey, guys. We got to celebrate D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate he passed away at a young age, but we got to look at what made him what he was and how iconic and legendary and the great music that he actually made. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, please smash that like button. R&B neo soul singer D'Angelo has passed away.
In 1992, IDU had a meeting with the record executives. But the bigwigs weren't interested in the entire group. They were more amazed by D'Angelo's background vocals. According to Greensboro.com, he signed with a publishing company that eventually became Midnight Music and later got a record deal from the now defunct EMI. His first major success came in 1994 when he co-wrote and co-produced You Will Know for the supergroup Black Men United. That single helped create the buzz for his iconic studio album Brown Sugar.
That's where I remember
when he co-wrote and co-produced You Will Know for the supergroup Black Men United. That single helped create...
This is the D'Angelo that I remember. When he came out with this right here back in the 90s, that's when I got the news of him, what I seen of him. You know, why he never came forward and said he had cancer. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's a good question because they said that he was fighting the cancer behind the scenes. For some reason, they didn't want to go public. They didn't want to say, or he may have not wanted people to know. I don't know what that case is. But like I told y'all that who was it? Angie Stone died. And look, you think that's BS. See, it could be. I never know with these celebrities in the industry, these people that pass away, because you see how with Angie Stone's death and the mysterious things behind that, and the fact that they had a kid together and she passed away not too long ago. It's just all unfortunate to me. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I really don't. But this is when D'Angelo became popular to me. Look, Angie Stone death is still questionable. See what I'm saying? And this is her kid's father. D'Angelo had a baby with Angie Stone, a child. You know what I'm saying? And for him to pass away, and we didn't know nothing about this cancer all this time, it is a little shaky.
The buzz for his iconic studio album, Brown Sugar. Brown Sugar sold 300,000 copies within the first few months of its release. He went on tour for 2 years to promote the album, and in the end, he said he was left with writer's block. For the next few years, he took a break from writing and released cover versions and remakes of songs to keep his fans satisfied. During that same time, he and his girlfriend, singer Angie Stone, who was 13 years older than him.
You see this? Angie Stone was D'Angelo's baby mom, and she was 13 years older than D'Angelo. Pure survival. She was 13 years older than him. Cause I was wondering, like, how did he get in the game? So I don't know if Angie Stone is the one that put him in the game or not. And I don't want to put too much conspiracy theory out there, but wasn't Angie Stone fighting to try to get her stuff back from like the industry? Is that true or false? You know what I mean? That Angie Stone was starting to expose the industry, and then mysteriously that situation happened. And now her kid's father, D'Angelo, has passed away at 51, which is very, very young. And then they're saying he was battling cancer, but we never knew about it. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that this is kind of mysterious. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all think that he just passed away from cancer. There's nothing to do with the industry. Because you know a lot of people are going to say that. You know what I'm saying? And I really kind of don't blame it because of all the mysterious stuff that happens in the industry. So I don't blame people for having their own opinions and thoughts. I'm just here to let y'all know D'Angelo passed away, and Angie Stone was definitely his kid's mother.
And released cover versions and remakes of songs to keep his fans satisfied. During that same time, he and his girlfriend, singer Angie Stone, who was 13 years older than him, had a son together named Michael Jr. D'Angelo told GQ it was the birth of his son that partially compelled him to record his follow-up album. In 2000, he finally released Voodoo. The album was called a masterpiece by music critics as it landed at the #1 spot on the Billboard charts. It sold more than 1 million units in 5 weeks, and D'Angelo won 2 Grammy Awards for all his hard work. The video...
See, the man that won 2 Grammys, the shit, his shit was going platinum. And I was wondering, how come D'Angelo left the music industry? Do any of y'all know? Because they saying that D'Angelo said he had writer's block. But my thing was he won Grammys. He was on the top of his game. You know what I'm saying? So him falling back from the music industry, it kind of threw me a loop myself.
As it landed at the #1 spot on the Billboard charts. It sold more than 1 million units in 5 weeks, and D'Angelo won 2 Grammy Awards for all his hard work. The video for Untitled, How Does It Feel, completely changed the game for the entire music video industry. Set against a black background and shot from the hips up, D'Angelo's glistening muscles will be engraved.
And when he came out, like I said, rest in peace to D'Angelo, but when he came out and took his shirt off and had all the baby oil on his shirt, it made you never want to take your shirt off again during survival. No Diddy. But when D'Angelo came out and did that, you know what I'm saying? If you was in a relationship, whatever, you looking at your woman like, you better not look at this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? But you saw it, you know, and then out of nowhere, he disappeared after this. He disappeared. And look, some people saying that he was stalked and harassed by the Illuminati. I don't know.
It'll completely change the game for the entire music video industry. Set against a black background and shot from the hips up, D'Angelo's glistening muscles will be ingrained in our minds forever. The success of his follow-up album came at a cost. At the start of the Voodoo tour, he began to crack. His tour's band leader, Questlove, told GQ
And then he started to look like this. So I don't know if it was D'Angelo was really, because they said he was fighting cancer behind the scenes. Now y'all seen when D'Angelo came out oiled up, was cut up like a bag of dope, pure survival. Then this was the D'Angelo that we ended up seeing years later. Now, like I said, rest in peace to this brother. I'm not making fun of him whatsoever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying when D'Angelo was on top of his game, it was just like I didn't understand why he left the industry, and then when he came back, it was like he had a total different look. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like, where the fuck, this can't be the real D'Angelo, pure survival. You know what I'm talking about? This looked more like me up that motherfucker with dreads. You know what I'm saying? But rest in peace, like I said, to D'Angelo. He was only 51 years old. And if this was the cancer that was doing that, then, it's more understandable on why he took a break. If he was really, really sick behind closed doors, smash that like button, everybody in the building. Rest in peace. D'Angelo did his thing. He did his thing.
The success of his follow-up album came at a cost. At the start of the Voodoo tour, he began to crack. His tour's band leader, Questlove, told GQ that fans were screaming, "Take it off," every time D'Angelo appeared on stage, and the singer began to panic. He was worried he wouldn't look as chiseled and in shape as he did in the How Does It Feel music video. Questlove said D'Angelo would become so frustrated that his fans were treating him like a piece of meat. One time, a fan threw money at him on stage, and he threw it right back at her in a rage. Questlove said sometimes they would have to beg him not to cancel shows altogether. On the last day of the tour, D'Angelo told Questlove, "I cannot wait until this tour is over. I'm going to go in the woods."
So D'Angelo, he didn't like the fact that all the women was going crazy like that. Like he was cool with it at some point, I'm pretty sure, but then it started to get frustrating with him because he really, really, really enjoyed the music that he made. You know what I mean? And he wanted people to love his art, his music, and not just look at him as a sex object. So I don't know if that was an industry thing to where they wanted him to just be like a sex symbol. You know what I mean? Like, look, he was really shy. Wow, real talk. But you know that's how they do in the industry. Like, you either got to be eye candy for the women, or the ladies, you got to be eye candy for the men. So they want you damn near buck ass naked. Either way it go. But this man had great music. You know what I'm saying? I really, really wish we would have got more music from him, but it was things that he was going through behind the scenes. Clearly, everybody, like I said, please, if you in the building, smash that like button so YouTube can push this out. D'Angelo had passed away at age 51, and I'm just giving a rundown on his career. You know what I mean?
Him not to cancel shows altogether. On the last day of the tour, D'Angelo told Questlove, "I cannot wait until this tour is over. I'm going to go in the woods, drink some hooch, grow a beard, and get fat." Questlove thought he was playing around, but he wasn't. When the tour ended, D'Angelo attempted to go back to his normal life, but that wasn't possible with the fame he had acquired. By that time, his relationship with Angie was over. She told
Oh, wow. See, so look, him and Angie Stone, look, this is crazy, guys. Smash that like button for both of them, for D'Angelo and Angie Stone. This is both of them. And they both are now resting in peace. Everybody smash that like button. And prayers for their son. I think it's a son. They had a son. What do y'all know? Did they have a son together or a daughter? I thought it was a boy. It was a son. Okay. Rest in peace, to both his parents. But this is it's just crazy that Angie Stone just died. When did Angie Stone die again? Was that last year? Or was that the year before? What year did Angie Stone pass away? Because this is very, very like close. Both parents passed away, it was a year ago? Salute the seeker of the truth. She died Oh, it was this year. Angie Stone died this year? Whoa. I didn't know that. So Angie Stone died 2025, and her kid's father, D'Angelo, died the same year. Wow, that is spooky, man. Salute to everybody in the building. Smash that like button, man. D'Angelo died at 51 years old. Like I said, prayers for him, prayers for his family. No, they killed her. Man, I mean, I heard about that. Like Angie's, Stone death was like super mysterious. I was watching a lot of stuff on it. You know what I mean? I know she was fighting the industry to get certain things back. Allegedly, she was speaking out, saying things that they didn't want her saying too early. And it's kind of crazy that I look in the news today and her kid's father, which was a legend in his own right, D'Angelo, passed away the same year. Now y'all telling me something new. And I was always wondering, why did D'Angelo want to get out the industry so bad? And then, like I said, when he took his shirt off and the industry was making him be like a sex symbol, he said out of his own mouth he wanted to go in a cave. He wanted to go live in a cave and grow a beard and get fat. He didn't like whatever was going on. He didn't like that kind of attention all over him. You know what I'm saying? So it had to been deeper.
Cue that fans were screaming, "Take it off," every time D'Angelo appeared on stage, and the singer began to panic. He was worried he wouldn't look as chiseled and in shape as he did in the "How Does It Feel" music video. Questlove said D'Angelo would become so frustrated that his fans were treating him like a piece of meat. One time, a fan threw money at him on stage, and he threw it right back at her in a rage. Questlove said sometimes they would have to beg him not to cancel shows altogether. On the last day of the tour, D'Angelo told Questlove, "I cannot wait until this tour is over. I'm going to go in the woods, drink some hooch, grow a beard, and get fat."
Did y'all hear that? He said, "I can't wait till this tour is over because I'm going to go into the woods, drink some hooch, and grow a beard." Like, why? And get fat. Can y'all tell me, why did D'Angelo want to get away from the industry so bad? He said that he hated this. I wanted to get away from the damn, I want to get off of this tour. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to blame the industry for this because he passed away from cancer. Allegedly. This is what they're saying. He passed away, yes, today. You know what I'm saying? But the things that he was saying about the industry and the fact that he didn't want to be in the industry either. And then Angie Stone, the way she passed away this year, they have a child together. Two of them was neo soul legends. That's just a crazy connection.
One time, a fan threw money at him on stage, and he threw it right back at her in a rage. Questlove said sometimes they would have to beg him not to cancel shows altogether. On the last day of the tour, D'Angelo told Questlove, "I cannot wait until this tour is over. I'm going to go in the woods, drink some hooch, grow a beard, and get fat." Questlove thought he was playing around, but he wasn't. When the tour ended, D'Angelo attempted to go back to his normal life, but that wasn't possible with the fame he had acquired. By that time, his relationship with Angie was over. She told Essence that she began dating him when he was just 19. He was short, wore glasses, and had low self-esteem. She helped build up his confidence and told him that one day people would fall in love with his beautiful lips.
Okay, so Angie Stone said that she got with him when he was 19. He had glasses, he had low self-esteem, so he was kind of nerdy back then. But she builded him up. Angie Stone builded D'Angelo up and told him he was going to be a big star. And like I said, it's crazy they both passed away this year.
I'm going to go in the woods, drink some hooch, grow a beard, and get fat. Questlove thought he was playing around, but he wasn't. When the tour ended, D'Angelo attempted to go back to his normal life, but that wasn't possible with the fame he had acquired. By that time, his relationship with Angie was over. She told Essence that she began dating him when he was just 19. He was short, wore glasses, and had low self-esteem. She helped build up his confidence and told him that one day people would fall in love with his beautiful lips. After garnering attention in the public eye, suddenly everyone began telling D'Angelo he was too good looking to be with her. She told Essence magazine that he fathered a daughter with another woman, and he rarely made time to see the son he shared with Angie. Angie said D'Angelo was too focused on his life and trying to get his career back on track. And the singer confirmed to GQ that after his Voodoo tour, everything fell apart. He lost a few people who were close to him, including his uncle Cece and his beloved grandmother. He was still working in the studio, but he also began partying and dabbling in substances.
So he was partying and doing different things, and Angie Stone, because as I said, I was trying to see when was D'Angelo going to come back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really remember him coming back. Like I thought he was, as far as the music, man. Prayers for D'Angelo. He still, like I said, was a legend. He did make great music, neo soul music. You know what I mean? He made you want that brown motherfucking sugar. You know what I'm saying? Partying or self-medicating. Yeah, that's what it sound like. That's what it sound like. Everybody smash that like button.
In 2005, singer John Mayer wrote an open letter in Esquire magazine begging D'Angelo to release a new album. But the singer had other things on his agenda. That same year, he was pulled over in Richmond and was charged with disturbing the peace, driving under the influence, driving without a license, and possession of substances.
See, D'Angelo had to been going through something personally. See, this is something I didn't know. This say 2025. So this is making sense. If they're saying D'Angelo was fighting with cancer behind the scenes, this could have been that. And then also having the industry at the same time, they wanted D'Angelo to drop an album, like they just said. They wanted him to put out more music. You know what I'm saying? And then Angie Stone passed away this year. So he had a lot going on. And it said he was addiction came out in these cards. Oh, okay. So I guess they say he was drinking, disturbing the peace, different things like that. So it sounded like the brother was going through a lot mentally, and then a lot going on physically, I guess. So smash that like button, guys.
In 2005, singer John Mayer wrote an open letter in Esquire magazine begging D'Angelo to release a new album. But the singer had other things on his agenda. That same year, he was pulled over in Richmond and was charged with disturbing the peace, driving under the influence, driving without a license, and possession of substances.
Wow.
But no one was more surprised than his manager, Dominique Trenier. Dominique borrowed a tour bus, drove out from California to Richmond, picked up D'Angelo, and drove him back to a California recovery center. But treatment didn't help. He said the moment he left, he went straight to the liquor store.
Oh, wow. See, so D'Angelo was also struggling with alcohol abuse and different substance, stuff like that. And my whole thing is if I had cancer and I was, fighting that thing, I would probably be out of my mind, depressed, going through things, doing stuff too. Or if it was the industry, because they say the industry is definitely stressful. You remembering you were a super duper big star, you know what I'm saying? And just having a lot of personal things going on at the same time. Like, it's crazy. Smash that like button, guys. D'Angelo passed away at 51.
Possession of substances. But no one was more surprised than his manager, Dominique Trenier. Dominique borrowed a tour bus, drove out from California to Richmond, picked up D'Angelo, and drove him back to a California recovery center. But treatment didn't help. He said the moment he left, he went straight to the liquor store. Months later, he was driving his Hummer on a suspended license when his vehicle crossed the roadway and struck a fence. D'Angelo, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, was ejected from the car.
Wow.
Another person in the vehicle.
That's crazy. I didn't know he had an accident like this before all of that. Wow, this is crazy, guys. Yes, this is crazy to know. I didn't know this either. And this is wild because okay, he had an accident that crashed out like this before, him passing away. But look at Angie Stone. I hate to bring that up, but didn't Angie Stone have an accident like this? Like, ladies and gentlemen, put a one in the chat if Angie Stone's accident kind of looked crazy like this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm just saying a lot of the things with both of them passing away this same year and then them having some of the similarities of the same. I'm just saying the faith in the world and how it works. You know what I mean? I'm not blaming the industry, but I'm pretty sure that this will come out and people will have their own opinion.
A suspended license when his vehicle crossed the roadway and struck a fence. D'Angelo, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, was ejected from the car. Another person in the vehicle, a woman named Lynn Sellers, was also injured. Following the accident, he released a statement to the Associated Press saying he banged up his ribs but was fine and was excited to return to the studio. Many believed the accident would be his wake-up call, but it wasn't until Jay Dilla passed away in February 2006 at the age of 32 from cardiac arrest that D'Angelo decided it was time to get help. He wanted to check into Eric Clapton's Crossroads Treatment Center in Antigua, but it would cost him $40,000, which he didn't have. So his good friend and A&R executive at EMI Music, Gary Harris, contacted celebrity personal manager Irving Azoff. Irving didn't know D'Angelo at all, but he knew of his music, so he agreed to cut a check to help him out. Once he made it to the rehab center, he remained there for an entire month. He signed a deal with...
Wow, shout out to D'Angelo, man. He was trying to get help. And shout out to the guy who paid for him to go in there. So he was going through a whole lot. You know what I mean? Prayers, like I said, for D'Angelo, his family. Rest in peace to him. Man, this is crazy.
Know D'Angelo at all, but he knew of his music, so he agreed to cut a check to help him out. Once he made it to the rehab center, he remained there for an entire month. He signed a deal with J Records in 2007, but there was more trouble happening in his private life. On March 6, 2010, he was locked up after he offered an NYPD undercover police officer $40 for her services.
What the hell?
His time away from the spotlight wasn't all bad, though. He fathered a third child, and he reportedly mastered the guitar by practicing the instrument for 6 hours a day. After his weight reached 300 pounds, he started a diet of fish and green apples and headed back to the gym to trim his 5 foot...
Wow, see, I didn't even know that D'Angelo was up to 300 pounds. Did any of y'all know that? D'Angelo went to 300 pounds? I had no idea that he put that much weight on. You know, but I do know that cancer is a crazy thing. Yup, I remember when he got fat. That's crazy, man. I know cancer, like I said, is a very, very crazy thing. You know what I mean? A lot of us have family, different people who passed away from that, you know, and also from what we learned about the industry, you know, he still had the industry thing in him too. And then to be all the way up here, a Grammy Award winner and all that type of stuff like that. And then things change for us that. And then whatever you got to do in the industry, it just had to been a lot on him. You know what I'm saying? But he did his thing. You know, he's still a legend. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace, man, to D'Angelo.
By practicing the instrument for 6 hours a day. After his weight reached 300 pounds, he started a diet of fish and green apples and headed back to the gym to trim his 5'7" frame. After management changes, record company changes, and a bunch of personal issues, he released Black Messiah in 2014 and took home 2 Grammy Awards. In June 2015, he told Rolling Stone that he was working on more material for a new album, calling it a companion piece to Black Messiah. In 2018, he announced a European tour, and we can only hope that the wait won't be long before he blesses us with new music again.
Sad, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely sad. And it's crazy how both of them passed in the same year. But rest in peace, man, to D'Angelo. Was a neo soul, you know, singer. He got a long history. You got to go back into the 90s. That was just a little glimpse of things that he went through in the industry, things he accomplished. He done had Grammys, all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Wow, so young. Yes, yes, super young. I mean, 54, 54. Shit, that ain't too far from me. Oh, excuse me, not 54, 51. He was 51. And that's definitely not far away at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? So man, prayers to his family and everything like that. And like I said, definitely to his son, because his son, I know he had other children, but his son with Andy Stone, to lose his mother 5 months ago and then lose his dad, the same year, that's a lot, and they both was in the industry. So man, like I said, smash that like button, share this video, guys. Prayers for D'Angelo, man. Shout out to Empress Lonnie One Love. Man, D'Angelo done passed away. You know what I'm saying? And like I was saying, back in the day when D'Angelo did that motherfucking video where he took his shirt off, man, like it just made you, like, if you was a dude that you wasn't cut up like a bag of dope like that, pure survival, it made you want to keep your goddamn shirt on. Cause the women went crazy. Even your own girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, get to looking at this man and you like, what the hell you looking at this motherfucker for? Pure survival. And you see the baby oil running down D'Angelo's body. He cut up. You ain't gonna never look like that. You know what I'm saying? Prayers to D'Angelo, man, and rest in peace to him. Shout out to my baby coming in the building, man. Like I said, guys, like, share, subscribe. Rest in peace to D'Angelo.